Hey everybody, so this is just a quick update for those of you that have been wondering what the hell's going on with Koriki or Batocera. Acmeplus, who's the developer behind both of those systems, put up an update in the wee hours of the morning earlier today. And so I just want to let you know what the status is on both of those systems. So some of you have pretty much signed off on Batocera or figured that maybe there weren't any more updates because you're a bunch of impatient and, people have lives, so we're just going to go over what his update is. And the good news is that it's not over. The good news is that there's still plans on updating both of those systems. So this is just straight from Acmeplus's Ko-fi page, which I'm going to have a link to in the description. But here we go. I know some of you are still waiting for Koriki 1.0 for the RG35XX, as well as potential Batocera update for that console too. That's still in the works, but there have been other priorities, projects, real work, as well as some time off that has resulted in less frequent updates. I want to thank all of you that have supported the project so far, and also wanted to mention where the donations money have gone to. So this is kind of cool. He's going to break down where some of your donations, those of you that have signed up on Ko-fi and have, offered him some coffee and, hooked them up with some funds, where that money's gone to and what he's been doing on it. So that's pretty cool. So for starters, here we go. A new 2 terabyte SSD, so I can continue working, creating new builds. Build root Batocera builds take a lot of space, and having multiple versions in parallel resulted on me running out of space continuously and having to delete temporary builds. So that sucks too, because excuse me, if he deletes some of his builds, like if he did something on that particular build and then he recreates it somewhere else, he might have lost something in the mix and had to start over. As a matter of fact, I know that happened to him a couple times. So yeah, space is extremely critical when you're doing these types of things. The next thing is a Powkitty X51 for research. So that model is also based on an Action Semi system on a chip, very similar to the RG35XX. However, it's an ATM 7051, same as the Arcade Stick Pro, MVSX, and Capcom Retro Station, and not an ATM 7039. Several of the lessons learned on the RG35XX have been applied there, but it does not seem that the GPU could be enabled as easily as in the RG35XX. There have been some effort done to get some RetroArch running on that model. A preliminary Koriki version is running, and Eggs has also been tinkering with some frame buffer changes there. I don't expect to release anything for that model anytime soon, since Koriki 1.0 for the RG35XX is a priority. So that's good news. I mean, it's good news that the priority is the 1.0 version of Koriki, but that there's another system that's there in the background that could possibly be tinkered with, that Acmeplus can, throw his magic on, which is kind of neat. But then beyond that, if you notice, he mentioned the Arcade Stick Pro, the MVSX, and Capcom Retro Station. All three of those systems are systems that I expect to see some of this work kind of ported over to them and kind of breathing new life to those systems, which is that's something I'm looking forward to as well. And I have all three of those, so I'm ready to test. All right, so the next thing is another RG35XX. So he bought himself another system, this time to replace the broken V6C. So yeah, he did at one point he had two systems. One of them he bricked, and so this has allowed me to release a boot fix for those of you that couldn't get it Koriki to boot. So yeah, that file was actually on the GitHub. His boot fix solution for some of you that might not have had success launching Koriki right off the bat, but at least he had that file. And the reason why is apparently because he bought himself another system that had that, I guess, one of the newer versions or whatever. So that's cool. The current effort is to consolidate those changes with the changes for the other revisions of the console. So hopefully for Koriki 1.0, all models can be installed exactly the same from the SD card image without any patches or modifications needed. So that's cool too. So again, closer to being foolproof for all versions and everyone that has an RG35XX. So again, good news. In any case, work on the RG35XX will continue slowly, and hopefully 1.0 will be released this month. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this post, there are other competing priorities that may impact that. I'll keep you posted. And again, thanks a lot for your support. So that's cool to have an update from Acmeplus. I've been getting bombarded with a lot of questions on in the comment section of various videos, and there's a link in the description to both. To his GitHub and also to his Ko-fi page. So if you guys want to support him, hook him up. Buy him a cup of coffee, so that it'll help him continue to support his developments on these systems. This is just a quick update. And it's not so quick because I did a lot of reading, a lot of talking, but the good news is that something's coming, and Acmeplus is still working on some things, so just stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.